While standing in line at a restaurant, a pit bull with a service dog vest lunged at a 3-year-old girl and began mauling her face. After the attack had finished, the owner turned to the injured child's father and told him it was his daughter's fault. A nightmarish scene unfolded at a Texas restaurant after a customer's pet unleashed an unprovoked attack on a little girl. Fox News reports that 3-year-old Ronan Gordon Waldrop was standing in line at the Loose Caboose restaurant in Old Town Spring when a woman's dog lunged at the child and bit down on her face. Witnesses say that the family was waiting in the queue when the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, more commonly known as a pit bull, jumped at the girl without warning. The dog, which was wearing a red service vest, latched onto the child's face for several seconds until the owner, 46-year-old Jennifer Romano, pulled back on his leash, prompting him to release her. He grabbed her by the face and he shook her, and I saw my baby hit the ground like a little rag doll, Cleverada Gordon Waldrop, the mother of the victim, Ronan, said. As soon as the little girl fell to the floor bleeding, Romano took her dog and fled. Cleverada rushed the child to the bathroom to tend to her wounds while her husband, James Waldrop, pursued Romano, who was hastily walking her dog to her car. When he confronted the woman, James says she turned around and yelled at me, "It's my daughter's fault." Ronan suffered deep laceration and puncture wounds to her face from just below her eye all the way down to her chin. The little girl had to receive 14 stitches and is expected to have to undergo plastic surgery in the future to repair the damage done to her face. Ronan's parents broke down as they told Trek how the attack and its aftermath have affected their daughter. "My husband and I walked in our pet room and she has my makeup brushes and she's trying to put makeup on her face," Cleverada said through tears. "And when I asked her what is wrong, 'Why are you doing that?' for a 3-year-old to turn to me and say, 'Mommy, I'm ugly, it's earth-shattering.'" Disturbingly, this isn't the first time Romano's been in trouble for unruly animals. The Hickso confirmed that the dog had bitten at least 2 other people and that Romano owned another dog that mauled a woman in 2013. Romano was ordered by a court to pay the woman more than $1.30, according to the Waco Tribune-Herald. She could have changed this from the first victim. She could have changed this from the second victim, the third, and here we are, not knowing what number victim we are, said Cleverada. After avoiding the police several times and attempting to hide her dog from authorities, Romano was eventually charged with tampering and or fabricating evidence as well as injury to a child. The pit bull, which was named Kingston, was removed from her custody and euthanized at an animal shelter. Perry Murris, the man with whom Romano fled the scene of the attack, reportedly told police that she ran because she wanted to protect her dog. He added that she told him she would commit suicide if her dog was taken from her and went on to blame the attack on the little girl. He admitted that the same dog had bitten him several years ago but declined to report the incident. Witness Morris said defendant should have known Kingston could be aggressive even if unprovoked, the charging documents reportedly said. Romano possessed a doctor's note confirming that she has a general anxiety disorder and stating that service animals assist her with this condition. However, the document didn't specify which animals this included, and there has been no evidence showing that Kingston was a certified service dog. Ronan's parents explained that their daughter is no longer the same happy toddler as before. Now, she has anxiety about going outside and suffers panic attacks when she sees dogs. Aside from her physical injuries, the psychological damage done to the innocent child is heartbreaking. Romano repeatedly endangered citizens with her negligence and was already ordered by a court to compensate one of her victims in a similar attack. She should get the maximum penalty, and hopefully the judge will allow Ronan's parents to sue for the pain and suffering their little girl has to endure. The harrowing experience has left a lasting impact on the family, transforming what should have been an ordinary outing into a memory they'll never forget. Cleverada and James have shared how the attack has completely altered their lives, requiring constant vigilance and counseling to help their daughter cope. They've begun advocating for stricter laws regarding service animal certifications to prevent such incidents from happening to others. Service animal abuse has become an increasingly debated topic, as untrained pets often wear fake service vests purchased online. The lack of standardized regulations has created loopholes that irresponsible owners exploit. Experts believe that incidents like Ronan's could be avoided with more stringent requirements for service animal documentation and training. The aftermath of the attack has also raised awareness about the dangers of misrepresenting pets as service animals. Legitimate service dogs undergo extensive training to ensure they are safe and reliable in public settings. Unfortunately, animals like Kingston highlight the risks posed when untrained pets are mislabeled as service animals. Despite the tragedy, the family has received overwhelming support from their local community. Neighbors and friends have rallied together to help the Gordon Waldroup family, organizing fundraisers to cover Ronan's medical expenses and future surgeries. Their support has brought some comfort to the grieving parents, who continue to struggle with the trauma of that fateful day. Jennifer Romano's actions have sparked outrage across the country, with many calling for harsher penalties for those who endanger others through negligence. Legal analysts argue that her previous offenses should have disqualified her from owning any animals, especially those with aggressive tendencies. The family has hired an attorney to pursue further legal action against Romano. They believe that holding her accountable will not only bring justice for Ronan, but also serve as a warning to others who disregard public safety. "We can't let this happen to anyone else," James emphasized during a press interview. The psychological scars left by the attack are proving to be just as difficult to heal as the physical ones. Ronan's parents describe her as being hyper-alert around dogs and reluctant to engage with other children, fearing that something bad might happen again. Her once carefree nature has been replaced with fear and uncertainty. Local lawmakers are now pushing for a Ronan's Law, which would mandate stricter evaluations for service animal certifications and impose severe penalties for those who misrepresent their pets as service animals. Advocacy groups have joined the cause, emphasizing the need to protect the public while preserving the integrity of legitimate service animals. Dog trainers and behaviorists have weighed in on the case, noting that Kingston's behavior indicated a lack of proper training and socialization. They stress the importance of early intervention for aggressive tendencies in dogs, underscoring how Romano's negligence put multiple lives at risk. Meanwhile, Ronan has begun therapy to address her trauma. Her parents report small victories, like being able to walk through the park without breaking down. However, the road to recovery is long, and the family is bracing for the challenges ahead. Jennifer Romano's story serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of disregarding safety measures and the responsibility that comes with owning an animal. As the legal proceedings unfold, the Gordon Waldroup family hopes that their fight for justice will lead to meaningful change. The case has drawn attention to the legal gray area surrounding service animals. Advocates argue that the current system fails to protect the public and the rights of genuine service dog users. Many believe that requiring national certification standards would prevent individuals like Romano from exploiting the system. Romano's defense team has claimed that her anxiety disorder justified her reliance on Kingston, but critics point out that emotional support animals are not the same as service dogs. This distinction, often misunderstood, underscores the need for better public education on the subject. The Loose Caboose restaurant, where the attack occurred, has since implemented new safety protocols to ensure a similar incident doesn't happen again. Management has expressed their condolences to the family and pledged to create a safer environment for all patrons. As the community continues to support Ronan and her family, the incident remains a stark reminder of the importance of responsible pet ownership. It also highlights the need for systemic changes to protect vulnerable individuals from preventable tragedies like this one.